What's up guys, and welcome back to Empire Total War, where in last week's episode things took a turn. We've taken Savannah and Charlestown from the Americans, and this week we're going to continue the reclamation of our lands from the Americans, who rudely took... Well, actually no, it wasn't really the Americans' fault, it was more the British that took it from us, and then the Americans decided to say to the British, F you, and clear off. And yes, now the Americans have it all, so not really the Americans' fault, but we're going to hold them responsible nevertheless. So we're going to take back all of our land from the Americans and reclaim it in the name of all Native American tribes. And yes, we're continuing on with that theme. The only real threat we have is Big Nathaniel Greene here and his army, his band of men. Yeah, they do have, for some reason, George Washington amongst them. The only one I noticed amongst this army not to be wearing a hat other than the horses. So I'm not sure where that puts him amongst the army, if he is on the same level as a horse, but oh well. Anyway, yes, we're going to continue on. This army has not moved for the last, like, year. Probably 2 years. It's just sat there in that exact same position. So it's currently blocking this army from progressing further forward. However, at the end of last week, this army, which was positioned inside Philadelphia, came and attacked this army and failed spectacularly. So now we have this army here we've brought round, and we're going to go take Philadelphia from the Americans. We are battle scarred. We're not at our full strength, but given that they only have town guard left, there's no actual units there, it may be relatively easy to take, and this army is pretty much gone. Like, there's not many of them left. So yes, and apart from that, there's not really that many people around to stop us. I don't know what Boston looks like. I haven't seen that for a while, so there might be a sizable army in Boston, but apart from that, there isn't any around the entirety of the Americas apart from Big Nathaniel Greene. So yeah, and given that he's like about 2 turns away from getting to Philadelphia, he's got absolutely no chance of stopping us. So the only chance they really have is that I attack here, and it turns out that this band of renegade militia defending Philadelphia is enough to stop us, and then these guys could potentially come and help out. But unless it turns out that these guys can stop us, then I think we've got Philadelphia in the bucket. That's not a saying. In the bag. That's the one. So yes, I think we've got no money. We're going to end turn, and then hopefully next turn we'll take Philadelphia from the Americans, and that shall leave them utterly hooped. Hopefully. Right, the Americans did nothing. So big Tioga and big Tenamakai, maybe, are able to now go and attack Philadelphia. It's about a 65-70% chance to, well, about 60% chance to us. They have big Marlowe Bell with his 630 men, backed up by another reinforcing army, which I guess is the army south of us. The one that it's the one that attacked us and failed spectacularly. Don't have that many men left, although they do have some Marines who we discovered last week to be absolutely useless. So yes, they have about, what, 768 men. We have 1,251, so a slight advantage to us. You can clear off women. And I think we're just going to auto-resolve this. We do win. We kill 711 of them, leaving only 57. But we did lose 420, which is not too bad. Big 420 blaze it. So we've taken Philadelphia, and we're going to, well, actually, oh, we can recruit. Interesting. We can recruit long riflemen. That is it, apparently. So that's all that these buildings give us. Although I will, yeah, I'll continue. I'll just repair these and see what they do. But we'll find out. I don't think repairing this is going to give us any more ability, so I think this is all we can recruit. But given that we have all of these buildings, including a great arsenal, and that's all we can recruit from it, then it says a lot about the type of units we're able to use. So we're going to replenish this army as best we can. That has used all of our money. And then I think in a turn or so's time, we shall send this army out to go and try and take somewhere else. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take Big Red Cloud here, And I'm going to send him up to Boston to have a quick wee spy. Okay, right, Boston's completely empty as well. They're all literally they're all off down with Nathaniel, who's just standing here doing absolutely nothing. And then we should have repaired all of Philadelphia, and we can then start looking at taking something else. Either New York, or we can kind of meet up in the middle and go south. I was informed that I was pronouncing this completely wrong last week, but yes, Annapolis, yeah, I'm just gonna call it Maryland, and just ignore the fact that I can't pronounce that at all. And yes, we're going to continue on replenishing and recruiting. And how's our finance looking, actually? It's all right, 4,800 per turn. I did notice that our trade is being currently rudely raided by somebody. I don't know where about. We're not getting any trade with the Ottomans or the United Provinces, so it's somewhere over in Europe, I believe. We're being raided by some bastard. Who is it? Is it Genoa? Genoa did enjoy raiding us. We are at war with Genoa, but these guys don't look like they're actually raiding anything, so I'm not sure if it's them. Ah, it's you bastard. Bloody Papal States. Big Pasquale Russo has decided that he's going to raid this trade route, which has put us in a bit of a disadvantage. And this guy as well. Oh well. I suppose it's been a while. We could maybe try and get some peace agreements again. Right. Given that the Papal States are the ones being the bastards right now, let's see if we can get a peace agreement with them. Request peace. No, apparently not. Oh well. Anyway, right, we're going to end turn again. And we'll see what they do, because Big Nathaniel has just been standing there. Okay, these guys look like they're coming to try and attack us, which is not going to end well, because there's only like 4 of them for some reason, thinking they're going to take on our entire army currently situated inside Philadelphia. But yeah, Nathaniel Green has not done anything. He is pretty much the only thing right now that could stop us from taking back the entirety of the Americas, and he's just standing in one location. He's just like camping in a field at the moment. He's off having a good old time with his friends, camping at the pond, probably having a few bevies, and just not paying any attention whatsoever. Him and George are just camping around a pond somewhere in the fields, just going, yeah, this is wonderful life. Not having any clue the fact that we've just decided to rock up and take their country back from them. Anyway, we've recruited a scout, and this time the portrait is actually an accurate representation of the person that's probably being modelled on the map. Right, St. Augustine got besieged, and then... Oh, it's still besieged. Okay, right, so... We'll just get a couple of these guys. Oh, that's much better. Right, I'll resolve that. We killed... Good lord, what in all things? So they had 450 people. They lost 350. They've only got 92 left. However, they killed 775 of us. For every 1 person they lost, we lost 2. It's just not even acceptable. Anyway, they've cleared off for the time being, which is fine. So we'll send these guys back in here, and then we'll replenish this army, which spends pretty much all of our money. And then we also have these bastards down here have decided to come wandering along. So we're going to replenish these guys as best we can as well. That spends all of our money. I think if I just end turn and see what the Americans do, it doesn't seem like they're building up many units. It also looks like they're sending units towards me for some reason without really making any real effort. It's like individual units. It's not going to do anything to us. So yeah, I think if I just end turn, we're just going to spend the next turn or 2 maybe just replenishing. Are they heading for our lands? I don't know where they're going. They might be heading across to try and take some of our territory off of us, which would be a bit of a mistake really, because I don't really care about it. I've got Philadelphia, that's all that matters really. It's the main thing to have, given that it's got walls and all sorts. Right, apparently Pennsylvania's got a bit of tribal unrest. Well, I don't really know why, because there isn't really a tribe in Pennsylvania as much as there is a populace. But yes, we're like, these guys have just kind of rocked up and they're just wandering through the fields, the forests at the back. We do have this city, which I think would be relatively takeable for them, and this one as well. So they could probably just go and take those if they wanted, but I'm not really sure what I would give them in terms of any real advantage, because we still have Philadelphia, and that's really the only thing that they can go and do. Right, what have we got here? Are we able to sabotage the armor? What can we sabotage building-wise? Let's blow that thing up. 48%. Successful. Win. Right, well that's going to be causing a ruckus amongst the Bostonians. Right, we've got to do something to Big Nathaniel here, so I feel like it's only right to just go and batter the boy. So let's take this entire army, and we'll take a couple of units from here, and we'll stick Obawangadang back into, I realise that's not his name, but it's easier to pronouncing than the actual thing. We'll stick him and a couple of units back in here, and we'll send everybody else to just go and take on Big Nathaniel. Okay, I made a mistake. Oh no, we are getting reinforced by them, so that's fine. Anyway, Nathaniel has 2,145 men. We have 3,345, plus an extra 360, and somehow the game thinks we only have a 45% chance of success here. So we need to do something about this. We will attack the... Well, yes, we will fight this ourselves. And I think the best thing we can do right now is go and take out Big George. Get rid of him. And then probably go and take out Big Nathaniel as well. And we also need to worry about the cannons. So if we can get rid of those pretty quickly, then we're in a good position. Right, everyone's hiding, apart from these guys for some reason. Not sure what they're up to. And yes, I think this is a very, very large army we have. Good lord, it just keeps going. All right, well. That is our army. We have a big, I don't even know what our chief is called. But anyway, we have our chief here. And we also have some cavalry somewhere. Where are they? Where are the cavalry? Oh, they're way down the end over here. So what we could do is actually use the cavalry to go and try and take out their cannons. That would be quite useful. Yes, then these guys are all hidden, so they'll need to come towards us. Alright, they've set up their cannons straight away. Okay, well that's an interesting technique. So let's get you out of there before you get absolutely wiped out by the cannons. So let's just get you right out of the way. There's Big George. Where is he? There he is. There he is. Look at him. Look at that pixelate. Look. That is a quality modelled face. Where is he looking? Why is he looking off to the side? He's not even looking straight forward. Oh well. Right, so we can go and try and take him out, to be honest. Get our cavalry. Well, do I want to? The cavalry would be very useful for taking out their cannons. That's the only thing. Let's focus on taking out George, shall we? Let's just go and send over these guys to go and shoot at them. We have some archers back here, so what we can do is get the cavalry to engage these guys and then draw them towards us. Right, they are now charging us. We're going to shoot them. If we could shoot them. Right, well that was an absolute bombarding. Right, let's get these guys back out of here a little bit. I don't know if we killed George there. We may have actually killed George. Okay, right, they're now charging our cavalry from behind, which is not a great scenario to be in. Good grief, what is... Oh my word. Right, okay, attack them. We've got grenadiers. I forgot about them, those guys. Grenadiers are the absolute beast in this game. Okay, our cavalry is on the charge, so their general is over here. So I'm going to send the cavalry all the way up the back, and we're going to bring them in and take their cannons out from behind. Is George still alive? I've not been able to see him. I think he might have died right at the start, actually. Okay, so these guys have managed to get around the back, so we're going to take them in and charge straight into their cannons, which is going to be a bit of a suicide mission, mainly because there's still an absolute ton of guys around there. Right, here come the cavalry. So, are they... Okay, it looks like they may... No, no, oh my god! Oh my word, that has gone horribly wrong. Get out of there, run away. Right, you've literally just walked into... Right, these guys are just... Well, that could have gone better. I didn't expect them to have cavalry spikes at the rear. So we're just going to leave the cavalry over there for the time being. Right, okay, our cavalry here. Oh, right, okay, they've now lined up along the cavalry, along the artillery now, defending it, which is just brilliant. I mean, they haven't done a great job of setting up their cannons. They've put them behind a hill, which has resulted in a lot of the shots just hitting the ground in front of them, which is not a great, great setup, really. I think the mistake we've got here is we haven't brought enough cavalry. I think that's where our real issue lies right now. Is this George? It is. There's only like 6 of them left. Do you want to go and try and take him out? You can get in there as well, lads. Go on. Oh, George Washington is running away. Is he the only one left? Oh no, he's dead. Oh well, that's them all dead anyway. Right, we've killed George Washington. Haha. Right, let's get these guys taken care of now, shall we? Well, we've got a lot of the American units to run away. They only have these guys left. I say they've only got those guys left. They only have those guys left currently in the war. Everyone else is just standing here observing from range. Meanwhile, our cavalry are shooting at these guys from distance. Which is probably not going to go well for our cavalry, so let's just get them out of there for the time being. There's a lot of them and not a lot of us, as you can just tell by the fact that we just lost about 10 horses in one go. Alright, they seem to be defending their cannons quite heavily. So I'm actually going to send our cavalry in melee mode. I'm just going to charge straight into the side of their cannons to hopefully get them to run away, because that's all we need to do. If the cavalry die, they die. Right, you know what, if you come over this way a little bit, because I'm scared of this spike right now. You just kind of bring yourselves to this angle, possibly, and then charge. I think if we sacrifice our cavalry but manage to get the cannons to run away, then we're in a good position, because that's all that we really want right now, because that seems like that is their tactic, is to just have the cannons attack us. Right, here they go. Cavalry is charging in on the cannons. They don't seem to be in any way bothered by this. Okay, their general is clearing off, and not sure why. We are, by the looks of things, losing quite a lot of our horses, but as long as we're able to, well, we've managed to stop their cavalry for the time being, or their artillery, sorry, for the time being, so that should hopefully give us enough time to move our men forward here. Okay, right, we've got one set to run away. The other set, there's 13 of them left. They don't seem to be particularly bothered. There's only 9 of us left, however. But if we're able to get them to run away, then that's the end of their cavalry. Sorry, I keep saying cavalry, artillery. But we are about to be absolutely done in by all these guys. But we've managed to get them to run away. You've done your job. Get out of there. Go, quick. There's only like 6 of you left. 8 of you left, right? So that has now changed things quite a bit. So yeah, I think they were just playing the tactic of, if we can just keep the cannons just firing at us, then we're at a disadvantage. But now that we've taken out their cannons, they have lost the high ground slightly. So it's pretty much a level playing field now. It's man versus man. And they seem to just be... We're in a bit of a stalemate. They seem to just be standing there. We're just standing here. There's not really any desire from either of us right now to just go and start attacking people, but I guess we should maybe engage them just to maybe draw them out slightly. I mean, they are lining themselves up in a way that allows us to just shoot straight down them, which is not a great tactic. This guy's about, like, 12 feet away from them, and they don't seem to be in any way interested in stopping him from just shooting them in the side of the head. We're taking out so many of them because they're just standing there, like, 20 feet away, just, like, taking it. It's a very odd tactic, but it seems to be working fine for us, so we'll just continue on with that. Oh, these guys have run out of arrows now. That's how long we've been firing at them. These guys look like they're about to run out of arrows soon as well. These ones are okay for the time being. We have some warrior society with their axes, so we might go and bring these guys up. They could potentially do a bit of damage. Okay, right, things have taken a bit of a turn. It looks like they're now starting to just go and attack us directly, which is fine. Let's get these guys... Let's get the bowmen that have no bows and no arrows anymore to just go and start attacking their general. We'll get these guys to go and start attacking them. These ones are running away, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these guys up the back, and we'll circle around and enclose Big Nathaniel. Where is he? Let's see if we can find him. Is it this guy? No. Him. Is it him? I think it might be this one. I think this might be him. He's ginger! Oh, it could be him. Oh, no, it might be this guy, actually. Here we go. This must be him. Big Nathaniel Green. So hopefully we're able to take them out. So we have these guys currently coming up around the back. So let's charge them in to completely encircle them. We've managed to kill him. Nathaniel Green and Charles, I keep calling him Charles Washington. George Washington have both been murdered in this battle. We're going to end the battle. It's a heroic victory. I guess, I mean, to be fair, it was giving us a pretty underwhelming chance of success in that fight, so it was always going to be more favourable towards us than it was being displayed, but we've managed to do our job. We killed, I mean, they still killed more of us than we killed of them. However, we did manage to kill 2,058, leaving just 87, and we also managed to kill George Washington and Nathaniel Greene, which is an absolute win for us, and we've completely wiped out their army. So we're going to replenish them as best we can, and we shall start moving these guys towards Williamsburg. So I'm going to end turn, and next turn we shall start heading up and taking out the rest of the American territory. So it looks like they're now... Oh, okay, they're sending these units south to try and reinforce from our march northwards. But I don't think it's going to be enough to stop us, given that we've already got Philadelphia and we've got a massive army. It needs a little bit of replenishment, but it's going to be in a pretty good place to take out all of their guys in about a turn's time. Alright, so we have these guys replenished, and we're actually going to merge these units into there, so that's going to give us a pretty strong, full-sized army. It just needs to be replenished fully, and once that's done, that should be us more than capable of taking out the rest of the Americas. We're currently in the process, right, does this change our recruitment or anything? No. So we're still only able to recruit one group of units, the, what are they? Long Riflemen, and that is it from all of these buildings, which is not great, but I'm interested to know if I destroy this and rebuild, like, does it keep the walls? That's my worry, is that if I destroy it, then the walls get taken out as well. But anyway, we're going to just replenish these guys, and that should have them fully replenished, and we're going to start recruiting these guys, who take 2 turns to recruit, so they must be pretty good. And then we'll start taking out the rest of the American territories. Boston looks pretty takeable. Albany looks relatively takeable. It looks like they're sending a lot of their men down to Williamsburg to try and hold that out from, or hold off this progressing army coming from the south, but I don't think it's going to be enough, given that we have a full-sized army and they've got about half an army currently positioned in Williamsburg, and it has no walls, so it's not going to be too difficult to take it, I don't think. But I'm going to end the episode for this week. It's been an absolute win for us. We've taken Philadelphia. We have removed Big Nathaniel Greene and Big George Washington from the game. I'm going to send these spies up, or this spy up here, to go and have a little spy at Williamsburg. Let's just see if we can get infiltrate in there. But yes, that's going to call it for this week. It's been a very successful week. Next week we'll try and take out the rest of the Americans, but they're not looking particularly strong, so I don't think it's going to be too much of a challenge. But yes, this was a big step forward for us, taking Philadelphia and removing the probably the strongest of the generals, well, the strongest general that they had. And yes, it's been a very good week. So if you've enjoyed it, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well if you're new around here, and ding that bell as well, because apparently that's the thing you need to do these days. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next week. So until then, cheerio.